What if Honda brought back a bike that didn't just feel powerful, but felt like it could go anywhere on Earth without asking for permission? And here's the twist. This isn't about comfort or tech or even convenience. This is about raw capability, the kind that makes you feel like you're riding something unstoppable. Welcome back to Acer Rider, and today we're diving into a legendary machine reborn, the 2026 Honda L600R. Now let me be completely honest with you from the start. This is not a bike for everyone. And that's exactly why it's so special. The original Honda XL 600R, launched in the early 80s, wasn't just another dual sport, it was a serious machine. A 589 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine pushing around 45 horsepower and strong torque made it one of the most capable bikes of its time. But numbers don't tell the full story, because what really made the XL 600R different was how it felt. And this is where I want to bring in my personal input, because this matters more than specs. Riding a big thumper like this is a completely different experience. It's not smooth like modern bikes. It's not refined. It doesn't try to make things easy. It shakes. It pulls. It demands your attention. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it addictive. Now imagine Honda bringing that same spirit into 2026. Let's start with design, because this bike needs to look like it means business. The original XL 600R had that tall, aggressive dual sport stance. High ground clearance, long suspension travel, a slim but muscular body, and that classic Honda red that just screamed purpose. And I really hope Honda keeps that identity intact. Because this is not a bike that should look modern in a flashy way. It should look functional. Picture this. Tall stance that gives you road dominance. Slim body that still feels rugged. High-mounted exhaust for real off-road use. Minimal panels, nothing unnecessary. And I'll be honest, this is the kind of design I personally connect with the most. Because when a bike looks like it's built for a job, you trust it more. Now let's talk about the engine, because this is where everything either comes together or falls apart. The original had that 589 cubic centimeter air-cooled RFVC engine. Big, torquey, and brutally honest. Around 45 horsepower and strong mid-range torque made it capable on highways and trails. And I'll say this clearly. This bike is not about speed. It's about force. That feeling when you twist the throttle and the bike just pulls. No drama, no delay. And personally, that's one of my favorite things about big singles. You don't have to push them hard. You just ride. Now in 2026, Honda would probably use a modern 500 to 600 cubic centimeters fuel-injected engine. But here's my take, and this is important. If they make it too smooth, they ruin it. Because the XL 600R isn't supposed to feel like a modern commuter. It's supposed to feel like a machine with character. Something that reminds you every second that you're riding a big thumper. Now performance. This is where things get serious. The original weighed around 134 kilograms dry, which is actually quite impressive for a bike of this size. But don't let that fool you. This is not a lightweight bike in terms of feel. It has presence. And I'll be honest, I personally enjoy that. Because when a bike feels planted, solid, and powerful, you trust it in a different way. Now imagine that, combined with modern upgrades. Stronger frame, better weight distribution, modern suspension tuning, long travel forks, and a ProLink style rear suspension would make this bike incredibly capable both on-road and off-road. And this is something the original already did really well. It was designed as a true dual-purpose machine, capable of highways and rough trails alike. Now take that idea and improve it with modern engineering. You get something seriously impressive. Now let's talk about something most people ignore. Effort. This bike requires effort. Kickstarting it, controlling it, handling it in tight spaces. And I'll be honest, that's part of the appeal. Because when a bike demands something from you, the experience becomes more rewarding. You're not just riding, you're involved. And personally, I think that's something modern bikes have lost. Now, braking, This is where modern upgrades are essential. The original had a front disc and rear drum setup, which was decent for its time. But in 2026, we need dual disc setup, or at least strong single front, rear disc brake, ABS. Because this is a powerful machine, you need control to match. Now features, this is where I think Honda needs to show discipline. Fuel injection? Yes. LED lights? Fine. Simple display? Okay. But that's it. No ride modes. No complex electronics. Because the moment you add too much, you lose what makes this bike special. And I'll say it again. The rawness is the whole point. Now let's talk about who this bike is actually for. And I'll be real. This is not for beginners. This is for riders who want something real. Something that challenges them. Something that feels alive. And personally, I think there's a growing number of riders who are starting to want exactly that. Because after riding smooth, perfect, modern machines, you start craving something with personality. Something that makes you feel more connected. And that's exactly what the 2026 Honda XL600R could bring back. Now here's the twist I mentioned at the beginning. What if this bike doesn't try to compete with modern bikes at all? What if it doesn't try to be better in terms of tech, comfort, or convenience? What if it just focuses on one thing? Experience. Because think about it. This wouldn't be the easiest bike to ride. It wouldn't be the most comfortable. It wouldn't be the most advanced. But it might be the one you remember the most. And honestly, that matters more than anything. So the real question is, would you ride something like this? A big, raw, demanding machine that gives you something modern bikes can't? Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't choose this bike for daily comfort. I'd choose it for the days when I actually want to feel the ride. If this got you fired up, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Acer Rider. Because here we're not just talking about bikes, we're talking about what makes riding unforgettable. And before we wrap this up, quick disclaimer, the 2026 Honda XL600R discussed here is not an officially confirmed model by Honda. This concept is based on historical data, real specifications, and current industry trends, combined with AI-assisted creative interpretation for entertainment and discussion purposes. Because sometimes, the bikes that demand the most give you the best stories.